Hello and welcome back to Write with Delight. Today I want to talk to you about how to write main idea paragraphs. In an expository essay, there are 3 main idea paragraphs. They make up the majority of this type of essay. Main idea paragraphs are a vital part of any expository essay. They focus on one main idea that supports the overall topic using specific information from research. Since they serve such an important role, there are several components that make up this paragraph. Today, I want to go into details with you on how to write this type of paragraph. One of the hardest parts about writing a main idea paragraph is knowing how to organize all this information. I like to use the acronym TIRES to help me keep all the information straight when I write a main idea paragraph. The T in TIRES stands for topic. You want to grab your reader's attention with a lead and state your thesis or overall topic of the paragraph in a topic sentence. The I in TIRE stands for information. Give some background information or a brief summary of the topic of your main idea paragraph. The R in TIRE stands for research. Provide examples of evidence from research that support your topic and make sure to cite it. The E in TIRE stands for explain. You want to explain and analyze each piece of research that you provided as support. The S in TIRE stands for summarize. Reflect upon your evidence and restate your topic. When writing a main idea paragraph, aim to include at least 4 pieces of research. When including 4 pieces of research in a main idea paragraph, the outline of your paragraph will look something like this. You start with your topic, you state your information, some background information on the main idea of your paragraph, you state your first piece of research, and then you explain it. And then you repeat those steps. You state your second piece of research and explain that, your third piece of research and explain it, your fourth piece of research and explain that. Your final step then is to summarize the main idea of that entire paragraph. When using research in a main idea paragraph, remember to do 2 things. First is to paraphrase, and the second thing is to use citations. These 2 things are critical when writing a main idea paragraph that includes research. To paraphrase means to put research into your own words. Paraphrasing can be difficult at first. I like to use the following 4 steps to help when I myself am paraphrasing or I'm teaching others how to paraphrase. The first step in paraphrasing is to read the research carefully and multiple times. The more you read something, the easier time you're going to have understanding it. And if you understand it pretty well, you'll have no problem then writing it down in your own words. The second step in paraphrasing is to look up any words in the research that you don't know or you're not familiar with. The third step is where you really get into the paraphrasing. Try to imagine repeating just the important parts of the research you read in a conversation to someone. The fourth and final step is to write down that conversation that you had in your mind about the research using your own words to get the meaning across. After you have paraphrased research, it's important to use citations. You want to give credit to where the information came from. You can cite research 2 different ways. The first way is to write the author's last name and the page number in parentheses after using a direct quote or paraphrasing the research. I left an example for you to see there. In parentheses, you put the author's last name, and right after that, the page number in the research that the information came from. The second way you can cite research is to build the citation into the sentence using the author's last name. Then put the page number in parentheses at the end. I left an example again for you. You could say the author's last name states that, and give your information at the very end. The only thing you put in parentheses is the page number. I want to share with you now a sample main idea paragraph that I wrote that includes the organization technique of TIRES, it includes paraphrasing, and it includes citations. The main idea of this paragraph is the Titanic had many elegant first-class features. My supporting details from research include, number 1, The Titanic had a grand staircase under a glass dome, and that came from research, James, 31. The second supporting detail from research was first-class cabins had thick carpets and marble sinks. The citation for that came from the author Green on page 52. The third supporting detail from research was ornate clocks and chandeliers. That came from Waldron, page 11. And the fourth supporting detail from research was real silver and fine china dishes were used in the first-class restaurants. And that came from Sear, page 2. Now my main idea paragraph reads like this. Most don't think of the word elegance when thinking of the infamous Titanic. However, everything about the ship was beautiful and included numerous first-class features. The grand staircase stood below a glass dome and led the way to many of the first-class cabins. James 31. It was by far one of the most impressive features. Speaking of first-class cabins, they were lined with thick carpets and genuine marble sinks. Green 52. That was an impressive way to live for a short vacation. Ornate clocks and chandeliers were another fixture in first class. Waldron 11. These could be admired in many different rooms throughout the Titanic, including the restaurants. These restaurants not only held amazing decorations, but passengers used real silver and ate off of fine china dishes while they were aboard. Sear, page 2. I can't imagine how incredible it must have been to experience all these extraordinary first-class features of the Titanic. It's no wonder elegance is a word to describe the appearance of the Titanic and its first-class features. I've taken the same main idea paragraph that I just read to you, but I have labeled the different parts of it so you can see how I've used tires to organize the information. The T on that first line stands for topic. That's where I introduce what the whole paragraph is going to be about. The second sentence, I've labeled it with I for information. I gave a little bit of background information about the Titanic. From there, you'll see R, and R stands for the first piece of research, followed by the sentence that has an E above it, where I've explained that piece of research. And I've repeated those steps until all 4 pieces of research have been stated and explained. And the final sentence is labeled with S, where I have summarized what the whole main idea paragraph was about. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found this video on how to write a main idea paragraph helpful.